What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Comics Clash. It's Isaiah. We have made it to the end of 2022. So today I'm going to give you guys my top 10 favorite movies of this year with some honorable mentions. Before we start this video, just drop your list down below in the comments section. Tell me what your favorite movies of this year were. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. And with that said, let's get started with some honorable mentions. So I have 10 honorable mentions for this list. So I'm just going to list them off one by one and give you a little brief explanation as to why I like them. First honorable mention is Violent Night. I thought this film was awesome. It was like Die Hard meets Home Alone, and it was so much fun. David Harbour as Santa was amazing. The action was great, and it's just a really enjoyable Christmas movie that I really love. Next honorable mention is Intergalactic. I thought this film was beautiful. The animation is stunning, and they did so many cool things with it. The music by Kid Cudi is fantastic, and it's just a simple story at its core about a relationship, and I just thought it was a really nice movie. Next up is Scream 5. I thought this film was fantastic. It was a great legacy sequel. We had some gnarly kills. The reveals was pretty good. I thought it was just a really nice Scream sequel. Not too much new to it, like they didn't do that much, but overall, I thought this film was fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun Scream sequel. Next up, we have Lightyear, and I thought this film was really awesome. I know not a lot of people loved it, but I think the first 30 minutes really shine. It's a film about time and how you should spend time with the people that you really care about, because Lightyear, he let time pass it by because he really wanted to complete the mission, but everyone else had a life on that planet except for him, and time was just passing him by, and it's a really a story about time, which I really love. And then after you get past that first 20 to 30 minutes, it just becomes a pretty generic adventure movie, which I still thought was fun. Didn't really like the Zurg twist that much, but I really enjoyed the first 30 minutes, and the adventure was fun. The characters are pretty great, and I enjoyed Lightyear a lot. My next honorable mention is Vengeance. I thought this film was pretty great. It was really surprising. I didn't have any expectations going into it, but I came out really loving it. There's so much great heart and comedy. There's a really great character arc in there with BJ Novak's character, and I think it's just a really fantastic movie. The journey that he goes on throughout the film is really great. The characters are really great, and I think it's just a really fun movie. If you haven't seen it, I think it's worth checking out. The last 10 minutes maybe didn't really hold up. I don't think the ending made as much sense as I wanted it to, but the character arcs and the stuff that they explore throughout the entire film was fantastic, and I really enjoyed Vengeance. Next honorable mention is The FABELMANS, and yeah, I really want to love this one a bit more than I did, but it was still a fantastic movie. I think the characters were great. It was a really well told story. I was really emotionally invested, and I just really liked how the film played out. I wish it focused more on the movie side of things, because I think that would have elevated it a whole lot more. But overall, the family dynamics were pretty interesting. It was a fun watch. There's some things that kind of confused me and didn't really make sense, but it's a really great movie, and I really enjoyed watching it. Next honorable mention is Elvis. Elvis was a really fantastic movie. It was really well told, and Austin Butler did a fantastic job with the character. I think he was really able to capture Elvis, and I think that really elevated the film. Overall, it was just an interesting story that had me captivated from beginning to end. And yeah, Elvis is just a really fantastic film. Alright, my next honorable mention is Ambulance, and I know this is not a lot of people's favorite movie, and a lot of people didn't really like it, but I thought this film was fantastic. The action is awesome. It's just a really fun movie. It's probably one of the funnest of the year. I was so entertained. The time flew by watching this film, and it's definitely one of those Taco Bell popcorn films that you can just kind of enjoy, and that was what it was for me. Just the stuff in the ambulance was so much fun. The comedy hit hard here, and them singing in the ambulance, fantastic. I really enjoyed the film. Next up, Glass Onion. I thought this film was a really solid sequel to the first Knives Out. It wasn't as great as the first one, but I still thought it was a whole lot of fun. The characters are great. It was a really interesting story, and I'm glad that this movie came out. I really hope to see more in the Knives Out franchise. Very interesting, very captivating, just like the first Knives Out. There was so much to love. Great comedy, great characters, fantastic movie. Alright, and my last honorable mention is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This film was definitely one of the best video game movies I've ever seen, and it was just really fantastic. The dynamic between Sonic and Tails was really great. Dr. Robotnik came back better than ever as the villain. There's so much to love about it. The comedy is fantastic. The action is beautiful. There are so many emotional scenes inside of the film. It's actually just a really fun movie. Definitely my favorite theater experience of the year. I think my crowd was pretty wild when I went to go see it in the theater. It was all packed up. It was more packed than when I went to go see the Batman, which was really surprising. But the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was just a really fun movie, and I loved it a lot. Alright, with my honorable mentions out of the way, it's time to dive into my top 10 favorite movies of 2022, so let's dive into them. Alright, my number 10 is Nope. I thought this film was fantastic. It was a really captivating story. The horror elements are fantastic, and there's so much great comedy throughout the entire film. The blend of genres was really great, and Jordan Peele doing something new really excited me, and I thought this film was really great. The sci-fi elements are good as well, and the whole build-up and the suspense for this movie is fantastic. The characters are great as well. Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya both give amazing performances, and there's just so much to love about Nope. The only real issue I had with Nope was what they did with Steven Yeun's character. It felt kind of unnecessary, and it detached from the plot. It didn't really need to be inside the film, but I get that it wanted to be part of the deeper themes about the darkness of Hollywood, and I get that, but they could have done something else where it was actually important to the plot. Other than that, Jordan Peele's Nope is an amazing movie, and I really, really enjoyed it. At my number 9 is Bullet Train. This is definitely the most fun movie of the year. The comedy is fantastic, and the characters are great. Brad Pitt does a fantastic job in the lead, and the action is just so much fun. The characters of Lemon and Tangerine were definitely the standouts. They were just so funny. They had so many great lines throughout the entire film, and I think it just played out really well. Bullet Train, it was really fantastic. All the characters got a little moment to shine, and it was just a really funny film with some great action, and I thought Bullet Train was a fantastically fun film. Alright, coming in at my number 8 is Avatar: The Way of Water. This film was a great sequel. It was so captivating. The world of Pandora is amazing to explore, and I'm so excited for the sequels to come with James Cameron. I'm really glad that he's focusing on this franchise. I really loved the first Avatar movie, and this film was just expanding on it, and it was so captivating. The characters are great, the visuals are stunning, and the music elevates it so much. There's so much to love about Avatar: The Way of Water. It's just a great escape from the real world. It's definitely a world that can have you captivated for hours on end. Even though I feel like the film was a bit long, it just really worked in general. It all came together in the end. There's just so much love. The villain is menacing, just like in the first film, because it's pretty much the same villain. Hopefully that he doesn't keep coming back, because he did survive at the end. But this film is really, really great. The visuals, the characters, everything is great. And the world of Pandora is just one that you want to go to so often. And I really, really loved Avatar: The Way of Water. Coming in at my number 7 is The Black Phone, easily the best horror film of this year. Ethan Hawke does a fantastic job as the grabber. He does a great job at building the tension and suspense throughout the entire film, and him being the villain that he was in this film was just fantastic. It really played out really nice. It's a simple horror film, but executed very, very well. The ending is fantastic, and there are just so many frightening scenes that it's a really tense horror film that really builds up suspense, really builds up tension. It just does a fantastic job at that. Our main character in the kid, he does a fantastic job in the role. Really liked his character, and just the way that the film plays out. The stuff with the phone was fantastic, and even though I thought it was a silly plot to begin with, it worked for me in the end, and I thought The Black Phone was just a really fantastic horror film, and it just really worked for me. In my number 6 spot is The Banshees of Inisherin, and this film was fantastic, really well directed, and the characters are great. The story is very interesting. It's an captivating story about friendship and how Calm, he doesn't want to be friends with Patrick anymore, and you just see how the story plays out, and Patrick finds out why Calm doesn't want to be friends with him anymore. He thinks he's a waste of his time, and Calm wants to go on to do some greater things. And it's just a really captivating story about friendship and how some people just don't want to be your friend. They want to do something else with their life. They think it's a waste of time, and it's a really interesting and captivating story that I really loved. The parallels to the Civil War that was happening outside were fantastic. The beauty of this film is really great, and there's so many emotional moments, like when Patrick loses his donkey. Like I was crying. It was a fantastic, really powerful moment, and I think there's just so much to love here. The dialogue here is great as well. The other characters, the side characters of Barry Keoghan's character, and then Carrie Condon's character, she was great. They all did a fantastic job, and then the way that it leaves Calm at the end was really heartbreaking, but also made a lot of sense. It plays out really well, and Banshees of Inisherin is definitely a really beautiful film that you should definitely watch. Coming in at my number 5 spot is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Wow, this film was fantastic. The most surprising movie of 2022 by far. No expectations going in. Like, I liked the first Puss in Boots movie, but dang, this film was fantastic. The characters are amazing, and their stories throughout the entire film are fantastic. The wolf as the villain was just amazing, one of the best DreamWorks villains we've ever gotten. He's so scary. He brings a presence that really you feel the fear of him on screen, and it's an animated film. He's a fantastic villain, and the way that he was able to accept that Puss had changed by the end of the film was fantastic. There's so many great lines inside of the film. It's very emotional. It's an captivating story. I love everything about it. Piero the dog was fantastic in the film as well. He's definitely my favorite character. He brings so much joy and so much love to the screen. That was fantastic. He's a very likable character, and I thought he'd be like an overly annoying character that was just kind of too nice, but his character is just fantastic. It really works in favor of the film. The animation is stunning. They do so many cool things with it, and it just all works together in the end. There's a final scene there at the end with Puss, Kitty Softpaws, and Piero that's just really beautiful. And then with Goldilocks and the Three Bears, they were great as well. They had a little side story about family that really hit me home. There's so much great comedy in the film as well, and it just all came together so nicely at the end. The emotion, the animation, the characters, the arcs, everything just fits so well in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Definitely the most surprising movie of 2022. Absolutely fantastic. I loved it so much. Coming in at my number 4 spot is Everything Everywhere All at Once. This film is so good. It's a beautifully crafted, visually stunning exploration of family and how we only get one life and that we should just live it to the way that we want it to do. It's about the simple things, about how you could just be doing laundry and taxes with someone that you love and you could be happy. I think it's just a really beautiful film, well crafted. The visuals are fantastic. The action is amazing. The performances are amazing, and the characters, they are fantastic as well. Michelle Yeoh gives a great performance in the lead as Evelyn, and Wayman is definitely the MVP of this film. I love him so much. His speech is fantastic. There's so much to love about this film. It's just a really great film. There's so many layers to it. It's well crafted, well executed. Everything just fits together so nicely. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is an amazing movie. It's going to win a lot of awards, and it's just a film that has some really great themes, really great messaging, characters, fantastic. It's just a really beautiful film. Kicking off the top 3 is Top Gun Maverick. What an amazing film. Tom Cruise does an amazing job. The acting from all our characters is fantastic, and the arc that they go on throughout the entire film is fantastic. The flying scenes are great. The action is visually stunning. The choreography for the film was just, in general, really well done. The music is fantastic, and the original songs from Lady Gaga and One Republic are really good as well, and it just really elevates the film. The music, the visuals, everything just comes together really nicely, and it makes for one of the best blockbusters I've seen in a while. And in general, Top Gun Maverick is just an awesome film. My runner-up for the best movie of 2022 is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Wow, what a masterpiece. This film was just so beautiful. It really was a tribute to Chadwick Boseman's legacy while also continuing the legacy of the Black Panther in Shuri, and her arc throughout the entire film is beautiful. The character journey that she goes on is so emotional, and it's just such a fantastic movie. Everything is so well done. It is definitely one of the best Marvel movies I've seen in a while. Definitely my favorite of Phase 4. I thought this film was just so fantastic. All the side characters get a nice little arc. They all have something to do that's just really fitting for the film. Everything comes together in the end so nicely. The music is amazing. The visuals are stunning. Namor is the most menacing villain in the MCU that we have gotten since like Green Goblin and Spider-Man No Way Home. He is fantastic in the role. Everything just comes together so nicely. I thought it was just a fantastic film. So much to love about it. It's just a really beautiful film. And then that post-credit scene just really was emotional, and it really hit home that there's still a piece of T'Challa left in this world, and his legacy can continue on in him and in Shuri, and it's just a fantastic film that I love so much. There's so much heart to it as well, and I thought this film was just fantastic. I could rave on and on about Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, but it's not my number 1 movie. So coming in at my number 1, my favorite movie of 2022 is... Yes, that's right, it's Morbin time, guys, because Morbius was definitely one of the greatest films I've seen in a while. Like, I don't even know where to start, but... Alright, just kidding. My number 1 favorite film of 2022 is The Batman. Yes, The Batman is my favorite film of 2022. What a masterpiece. The best Batman movie I've ever seen. One of DC's best films. It's just so well done. The visuals are stunning. Everything comes together so nicely. The villains are fantastic. There's so much going on. Batman's arc throughout the entire film is great. The monologuing is fantastic. All the side characters are amazing. The acting is just on point. Everything is amazing. It's a dark film that really works in the Batman's favor. It's a great detective story. It's a great character story. It's just a fantastic film. No issues at all. It's it's just a really fantastic film. I got to buy all the merch for it. It was just a really, really great film. The Batman is my favorite film of 2022. It was a fantastic film. I loved it so much, and yeah, that's my number one film of 2022. Tell me your guys' picks down below in the comment section. If you stayed all this way, make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.